Okay, is it still muted? Okay, that's annoying. So this is just a quick lecture. Thanks for telling me though, about how to attack. No what? Okay. This is a quick lecture on about attacking. I didn't realize it was like such a big topic, but seemed like this was something that a lot of players were having issues with at my club today, so I thought it'd be good to make a video about it. So basically there's 4 parts of attacking. The first is you don't want to touch the stone you're attacking. The second part is you want to block the escape route, or their access to the center. The third thing is you want to push the stone you're attacking into your strong stones, or towards your strong stones. And the fourth thing is you want to make sure you have enough preparation to attack. If you don't have enough preparation and you try to attack something, it'll all fall apart. So quickly, I'm going to talk about the first. I guess I can give general examples first, and then I'll give specific examples, and then I have a game that I can show some of these. So first off, let's say you have a 3-space extension and white comes in. Or maybe it's like this. This is probably a better example. White jumps into your Shimari extension, and black wants to, whoops, sorry about that, that probably looked weird. Black wants to handle this stone. How do you deal with this? Well, first thing we want to do, don't touch the stone. If you touch the stone, that gives white options for breaking out. White can Hane, then Atari, White basically gets these moves for free. And now you want to stop white from breaking out, but looks like white is going to be able to at least make a ko, but probably can live. Because even if you try to kill it, maybe it's a ko. Maybe it's a ko. Okay, it's a ko. But you don't want to have to play a ko, right? This kind of ko is huge. There's like tons of local ko threats, and you have so many cutting points. Not a good result. And you originally had 3 stones in the area, right? You had 3 stones to 1 white stone. So that's not good. You don't want to touch. Okay. You can touch when you're defending, but when you're attacking, you don't want to touch. Second thing, you want to block white to escape route. So black's worried about the corner, doesn't want white to mess with the corner, so black plays here. But white can still run out. White can attach and move out, or just Kosumi and jump out. It's pretty easy on white. So that's not good. You want to block white. And how about the cap? Well, there's actually still a weakness here, right? And now, yeah, you're kind of attacking white, but white's going to be able to settle, right? This is still a great result for black. Black got a lot of good stones, but black could get more if he blocks the escape route. So, what's black play? Black should play the Kosumi. And this follows with the next principle. You want to push white into your strong stones. So this corner enclosure is a very strong position. So by playing the O13 move, white has to move out to the corner position. And you want to push white into those. So now it's difficult, or more difficult, for white to move out. Right? Now these stones have no eye shape, and you can keep attacking them pretty severely. What if white plays Kosumi? You can just Kosumi back, right? It's kind of the same kind of shape, right? I mean, yeah, so like white can play here. This might be really dangerous for white. White can try to make shape like this and lean on the corner. Black has to live, but it looks kind of dangerous. White might have to add a move to live. Like, black got this huge wall, still has the corner points, and white made 2 points. Not a great result. So, Those are the first three principles. The last one is about having enough preparation. So I'll look at a position like this. Maybe black opens up with sanrense, white approaches, black backs off, white slides, backs off, and then black, might play a similar joseki over here. And now, for whatever reason, white decides, oh, I'm going to invade, right? This is a 3-space extension. It has a weakness here. How does black deal with it? Well, we already talked about not the first 3 principles, and I'll just go over them quickly. When I gave this problem to a guy at the club, I'll say, his first answer was here. He was like almost immediately, oh, play here. But this is not good because it's touching. His logic was, oh, I have these 2 stones, I want to connect them, right? But black is strong here. Black has, before this move, all these black stones here. Black is pretty strong. He shouldn't have to just defend and connect. He could attack. So let's look at first why this attachment is not good. White cuts, and if you extend, white can damage the D10 stone. And white's pretty happy, successfully broke through the left-hand side. Alternatively, the variation we played at the club, black plays like this, and sure, your stones are connected. You got what you wanted. But your influence is pointing towards this strong white group. You are making a giant, like all your stones are making this big moyo. White's living in your moyo pretty easily. So it's not a good result for black. Whoops. So what do we do instead? Okay, we want to block the escape route. Okay, what about cap? Well, white can still split. This is an attacking sequence, but here it's not so good. White can just live, or if black extends, then white can push a couple times and just jump out. There's still the 3-3 point in the corner. There's still cut, this cut here. Not the best. In fact, there's not really a good move to block the escape route. That's why this move is so annoying, right? You're playing on the same line as the other 2 black stones, so there's no escape route. And, okay, do you have strong stones? Can you push white to your strong stones? No, not really. White can just move out, right? These guys, sure, they're strong. They're alive in the corner, but white just runs out. So the reason the first 3 don't work is because black doesn't have enough preparation to attack these stones. And this is what's called a leaning attack, right? Black wants to attack the white stone, but he doesn't have enough preparation. So he leans on another group. And so the way you play this is black will lean here. And now white has to defend, right? If you do something else, then black will push through. Or you could play here, but it's kind of a loss. You give up the corner. This is now weak, right? If black gets another move here, now you're running out. Maybe you get cut into 2 groups. It's a little, maybe not right away, because this move is also weak, but you give up a lot. Or even just this exchange is good for black in this exchange. And then you attack here, and then you attack this one, right? So white has to answer. And now black can, this move, it followed all the principles before. Don't touch, block the escape route, push them to your strong stones, but didn't work before. Well, you couldn't really push them to strong stones because they were underneath it. But now black has these stones here, and can white get out? Looks a little difficult, right? Maybe white doesn't play, maybe actually black plays this one. And kind of tricky, kind of hard for white to get out. So this is what the essence of a leaning attack is. It's get some preparation by attacking somewhere else, lean, and then follow up with your real attack. So let's look at another example. I think, oh my gosh, I keep double clicking. Let's say you have a position like this. Maybe, you know, this is a pretty standard shape. Like this. And black's like, oh, I want to, you know, prevent white from getting too much of the bottom. That's a reasonable idea, right? But white has so many strong stones, or not so many strong stones, but so many stones around here, you know, all these stones. You know, this move is a little bit unreasonable. How do we attack it? Well, first, we don't touch. If we touch, black's really happy. Hana and, oh, I'm out. You know, I successfully destroyed the bottom. Second thing, you want to block the escape route. Well, capping is strong, but, you know, black still has all these moves to move out. There's some weaknesses in white's shape, right? Not necessarily the best way. You know, you can't completely block white's movement, or black's movements. And you want to push black to your strong stones. Well, you can't really push him towards these. Like, you can even lean here like before, but can you really push black all the way over here? It seems a little far, right? Black will just live and settle. So yeah, they're strong, but you can't push them. So what do we do instead? We need more preparation, right? So first, white should push here to make himself strong. You can even push a few more times, like this. Get all these forcing exchanges. And now, this is a strong group, right? This is like a wall. And you can push black into your wall, right? If you just cluster me the whole way, you can totally see that black is going to run into this shape. You might want to change a little bit to avoid this cut, but even the cut is not that big of a deal. Right? Maybe it's a little bit of a deal. Maybe not. I'd have to read it out completely. But looks like, you know, black is still in trouble. You could do this kind of thing, but, you know, oops. White can easily make shape. Maybe play here. Well, there's two cuts here, but for black. But you get the idea, right? No matter what, black is having a hard time. So yeah, you want to make preparation to push black into your wall, or into a position that you can. You want to prepare your position by leaning, and then pushing black into those stones that were leaning, because those stones should be strong enough for you to attack into. And yeah, actually, that's all there really is to attacking. It's, you don't want to give them the broader version of this is don't touch is really don't give them free moves, or don't, you know, have Aji that they can exploit. Block the escape route is, you know, make it hard for them to settle. You know, don't give them perfect shape, play on vital points, and then push them to your strong stones. That's still push them to your strong stones. Make them play in the area that's not important while you play in the important area. And part 4 is, yeah, have enough preparation, leaning attacks. That's really all there is to it. So let's look at a game. This is a 4-stone game. Normally when I teach, if I'm stronger, or like significantly stronger, I play 4-stone games. Because I think 4 stones leaves enough room for white to not have to make overplays or like play decently. And I mean, you could play like 6-stone or 9-stone games, and you might learn stuff about like reading, and like it's mostly reading at that point. It's like, did they know this Joseki, or did they fall for, like, you know, did they not understand how this relationship between stones worked? And it's like, you can learn that way, but at a general level, your reading ability will be the same as your opponent's, right? If you're 5Q and your opponent is 5Q, then you both read the same. Generally, sometimes people like really good at reading, but then they play all local moves and they fall behind. But those are rarer. Usually, your reading ability is about the same as your opponent's. So, I think 4-stone games are better for understanding other principles. So actually, this was the second game we played today, but I'll just talk about this one. Put like this, and I played an interesting position. I played here, and this is kind of a probe. This is probing how black will manage, which side, the top or the bottom, which one should I reduce or deal with first, right? It's normally you don't ever see this formation, but I was feeling like playing it. But actually, black has a really good way to deal with this move, and it's not intuitive. If you are a really like attacking oriented player, you might think, well, this is close. I have 5 stones here. Shouldn't I be able to attack this? White only has 3 and they're really far apart. I want to attack it, but right now it's maybe too soon. White can run away. White can attach. All these kind of things. So maybe it's too soon to really attack it that severely. Can you prepare or make a leaning attack? The variation we talked about the club was playing here. I think playing this one is a little bit better because it gives, if white tenuki is right, it follows up here. Black has much better shape. It's much more severe. So white's almost guaranteed to answer it. If white pushes, you just, play like this. You can connect. White still should probably answer. If you defend this, right, then there's, it's kind of severe. Like, you can live, but it is not happy. Right, now you live, and then black goes and attacks your other group, right? It's like, did you really want to live like this as white? But the idea is like, okay, so you get these forcing moves in, and then you do it to the other side, right? It's really simple. You get these forcing moves in, and then bam, you can attack it. It has nowhere to run. White has to make local sabaki, but in this shape, black is so strong, you can even play like this, where we said don't touch. Don't touch only applies if you're not strong in the surrounding area. In this case, black at least cut off this half, and these are still really weak. How do you manage? It's pretty tough. So, yeah, black can start an attack like this. And it's kind of a double leaning attack, right? You lean on one side and lean on the other. But in the game, black didn't play this way because he thought, well, I don't really know how to deal with this, and he decided to extend here. I play really softly in handicap games because I feel like, you can always play really aggressive, and even if your move's an overplay in a handicap game, it might work because your reading is stronger, your intuition is better in complicated situations. But I don't feel like that really teaches much, so I just play really softly and simply. And I'm pretty happy. Like, even though this is a one-space jump, which is a little bit over-concentrated, well, I already have a reducing move here, so I can still reduce this area. And I can always, like, this is a fairly strong position. I can always jump in later. So anyway, so after this, black decided, oh, well, I'm going to jump. He didn't want me to jump in here. And this is locally, like the shape-wise, it's a pretty good move. Like, it makes good shape here. It puts pressure on my group. But it gives me the opportunity to follow up here. And so this kind of variation, black extended, and then he retired, which is really bad. But you can almost, this is normally a sabaki sequence, a way for white to make shape, settle quickly. But in this case, it's almost like a leaning attack. White is preparing, in a sense, a position to attack these 3 stones. And now black, when in the review, black said, yeah, he realized these 3 stones are weak, but he didn't know how to, defend. He didn't want to play here, is what he said. But of course, black should play here. It's the base of 2 groups. It affects the base of 2 groups. Or, if you're really worried and you didn't realize this lived, then you can jump, make shape that way, or you can lean first and then jump this way, maybe here. But in the game, black said, okay, I don't know what to do, I'm going to tenuki, which is always reasonable. Like, if you don't know what to do, play somewhere else. But in this case, really dangerous because you're going to fall under attack. And now black made a really big mistake. I'm attacking by taking away the base first. I could also attack, like something like this, but then black just plays here and he's alive. And this is okay, right? I get some forcing moves, but Since it's a handicap game and black took some points, I felt like I wanted to play a little more aggressively. Although it's probably, in retrospect, better for me to play the other way. But black got greedy. Black played here, and I peeped, and then I jumped. And black can actually live. Black can play here, right? If I try to run, then black just takes. You have to do some reading if it's like this, but 3 liberties to 3 liberties, black wins. But black didn't play it this way because he didn't see it, basically. So he wanted to run. And we just got over leaning attacks, so I made a leaning attack. And actually, these were not really sente, but the idea was there, right? So black should just connect now. Black could also push, and I will follow up and make this kind of trade, was my plan. But it's kind of difficult for me to actually do this. So I'd have to wait for some sort of aji from the position here. But black was obliged and helped me defend. And then, since I had these stones here, I was like, oh, well, I can jump. If black pushes, I just extend. These stones help, give me some support in my attack. But instead, black was like, well, it looks like this is going to die. I'll give them up. And then he proceeded to go back and try to make them live. It was really strange. He was like, oh, well, I guess I really can't give them up. And he's like, he didn't realize that this move could save him. So he made all these exchanges trying to live. I don't remember the exact moves he played. Yeah, he played like this. And actually, he wasn't supposed to die, but he kind of let himself die. He played here. Black just has to play here, and he makes an eye, right? Over here. And this move and this move are mi for another eye, so black could live. But black defended here, and so I just killed him. Even if black Ataris, it's not enough, because I can come back. Maybe there's some danger. I wasn't really worried about him killing me, because even if he does this, he lives, but it's in Gotai. And I can finish my wall, or, play somewhere else. This is still all really good for me, because black's super harassed. So yeah, that was that. And the game didn't end here. Black played a few more moves. So black wanted to pressure me, but I was really, I was like, oh, okay, I'll save my group. And then he played this jump, right? I guess he's aiming to build. So I was, I just approached, and then black was like, I'm going to defend here. So he's trying to, build this, get a lot of points here. And I just came in. And so now black has the chance to attack white, right? Black can attack the stone I just invaded with. But how do you attack it? So in the game, black played here, which is violates the first principle, right? Don't touch the stone. It does block the escape route, and it does push me into these 2 stones, but it is touching, and touching is not good. So in the game, I hunted, and black, what did he do? I don't even remember it that well. Oh, black cut. Right, so then I just played like this, because it was easy to live. And we stopped after I lived here, because this is dead, and, black has not a lot of points, and white still has, framework on the right. So, but what could black have done to deal with this stone? How do you really handle it? So, you don't want to touch it, and if you just try to seal it, white can make pretty good shape inside. So you want to try a leaning attack, something like this. If white backs off, then you can play more severely, right? You can attack it directly. Or if white huns, then you just extend, and you have miai, right? You still have this kind of shoulder hit enclosure, just kill it, and you have a cut to take advantage of. If you really want it, you could even double hunt it, right? Even if white pushes, and if white extends, you just cut. And if white, connects, then you can block actually. Atari. There's some other variations, but this is easiest. Now white has to, capture these stones somehow, but there's not really a good move for it, right? Even if white extends, well, you have a couple options. You can even just sacrifice it, and now you have this giant, not giant, but you have, this is a good formation, and then you can push in, come into the right hand side. If white cuts, then you just fight. The stone is damaged. If white hunts, you can just connect. White connects up, but you're stronger, then you build up more. I mean, of course black's behind because of the upper left, but this is like, all else being equal on the board, a pretty good result for black. Black could also try, after this, you can also try to sacrifice it. I want an Atari. I'll just try here right away. And if white takes the stones, then you squeeze. Right? This is great for black. Like, amazing for black. Of course, white wouldn't play that way. White would take this way. And then probably you sacrifice these two, and then take this one. And this, really good. It's like the same thing. Black breaks into the right-hand side. Good distribution of stones. All pretty, reasonable. So of course, maybe white doesn't try. White just extends, and then you play here, and white defends, right? Maybe white cuts first, but then defends, and then you can still just attack it. You're stronger now, right? Because you leaned on white stones. And, if white tries to escape, it's like, can you really live here? It looks iffy. Also, later, this kind of move is annoying, where you can get squeezed, and then pretty sure white's dead. Pretty sure. How do you live? Right? You don't even have to play that, you could just play here. And, no way to live, so good for black. So yeah, I think that's basically all I wanted to cover. I just want to talk about the general idea of attacking, and then introduce the idea of a leaning attack. Forcing moves or exchanges to build, to reinforce your position before you attack. You always have to remember, if you attack before you're prepared, every move you use to attack is a wasted move. Or not a wasted move, but a liability, right? So, a really, I think this is from Attack and Defense. A really common idea of attacking, or a way to understand attacking is, let's say you have a ladder, and the ladder doesn't work, right? Yeah, it doesn't work. Then, if you try to if you try to attack this stone when white pulls it out, well, why would you ever play a ladder that doesn't work? Right? You have all these cutting points, after the fact. This is going to take forever. But after, white saves the stone, right? Now you're like, well, okay, I play some people like, my attack was okay. I got some influence, I have these positions built up. It's like, no, your attack's not okay. You spend a move to defend some part of it, and then white, pokes at one weakness, you defend another part of it. White eats another stone, and then you defend another part, and white eats, more position, and you just crumble, right? You're defend. And they look at this like, well, I got parts of it. It wasn't so bad. I got to attack, right? And it's like, no, you really, it wasn't good. And then you keep attacking. It's like, ugh. I'm just clicking now for no reason. But yeah, it's like, why would you play this way? It's like, oh, I can attack these. I'm gonna, oh, and it's like, no, wait, my stones are in danger. Sacrifice. It was worth it. It's like, yeah, I guess. You still take to fix your weakness. There's still a weakness here. It's like, But this is a really exaggerated example of attacking before you're prepared, right? It's the same as going back to that Sonorense example. right? And then white comes in, and you're like, I'm gonna attack this stone. And it's like, no, you're not. You're not attacking. You're like, okay, I built a wall. And then white's like, sure, you built a wall. Your corner's dying. And you're like, oh, no, I can save the corner. I'm gonna save the corner. You're like, well, wait, what happened to your wall? It's like, well, no, my wall's still here, right? It's like, it doesn't really make sense. Actually, this corner is dead. But it doesn't really make sense. You can't, if you attack before you're ready, you'll have lots of weaknesses, or you can't do too much. It's like too much to handle. Okay. So yeah, anyway, that's basically what I want to talk about. God, it got dark so fast, and I look like a ghost. But, yeah. That's basically it for today. Hope you enjoyed the video. Hope it was useful. This was aimed, you know, at a much lower level, not lower level, but usually my videos are aimed at like maybe 1 dawn-ish, or just some of them. This one was aimed at like SDK maybe low SDK, but yeah, it never hurts to like review the fundamentals. So like this is the very fundamentals of attacking. Okay, thank you for watching. Catch you all next time.